Hi, everybody. It's time once again for another episode of Road to Recovery. Today, we're going to be covering the mantra and the power of affirmation. There's a power to uttering words that, for many, just take for granted. In recovery circles, we use mantras and prayers all the time. But outside of the group dynamic, the mantra can be customized and personalized to suit whatever goals you might be trying to make. And for those of you who might be skeptical, affirmations have a great deal of scientific research backing up their power. Claude Steele originally popularized the self-affirmation theory in the 1980s. The theory begins with the premise that people are fundamentally motivated to maintain their self-integrity. If individuals reflect on values that are personally relevant to them, they are less likely to experience distress and react defensively when confronted with information that contradicts or threatens their sense of self. Investigations of self-affirmation theory suggest that self-affirmation can help individuals cope with threats or stress, that it might be beneficial for improving academic performance, health, and reducing defensiveness. For many people dealing with addictions, the concept that self-integrity is at the heart of a lot of the issues that we struggle with. We struggle with our self-image, trying to maintain that perception of being a good moral person. More often than not, there is a cognitive dissonance as our actions and behaviors aren't in line with our desired perceptions. Sometimes we prop up an illusion of integrity only to have them crash down. Some others just keep the illusion going while living that double life. It's hard to be the man working behind the curtain. In recovery, the affirmation can be an important tool to helping maintain sobriety. There is MRI evidence suggesting that certain neural pathways are increased when people practice self-affirmation tasks. The prefrontal cortex, involved in positive evaluation and self-related information processing, becomes more active when we consider our personal values. That study suggested that when we choose to practice self-affirmations, we're better able to view otherwise threatening information as more self-relevant and valuable. We need to be competent and adequate in different areas that we personally value in order to be moral, flexible, and good. Research has shown the following benefits of affirmations. Number 1, self-affirmations have been shown to decrease health-deteriorating stress. Number 2, self-affirmations have been used effectively in interventions that lead people to increase their physical behavior. Number 3, they may help us to perceive our otherwise threatening messages with less resistance, including interventions. Number 4, affirmations make us less likely to dismiss harmful health messages, responding instead with the intention to change for the better. Number 5, they have been linked positively to academic achievement. And number 6, self-affirmation has been demonstrated to lower stress. I started using affirmations in my own recovery through yoga mantras, which are typically recited at the beginning or at the end of the yoga practice. But you don't have to use mantras in the context of yoga. Mantras are affirmations, and you can use affirmations at any time. And your affirmation should always start with some sort of tangible goal. And if you've been paying attention to this series, you know that I keep repeating this. Goals are the centerpiece of recovery. If you've been paying attention to this channel or you've gone through your own recovery effort, you probably already have those goals documented. So, say if you had a gambling addiction, one goal might be to resist the urge to play games when you're stressed out. So, rather than focusing on the addiction, the mantra targets the underlying trigger, which in this case happens to be stress. So one mantra might be, I am in charge of my thoughts. I am at peace in stormy waters. Now, I don't expect you to say that one time and just have the stress thing beat. Obviously, you have to tie this in with all the other recovery efforts. But the mantra in and of itself, if you were to repeat this on a fairly regular basis, and now I don't mean chanting it at, line after line, time after time, But maybe at the beginning of your day, maybe at the end of the day, maybe when you anticipate that there might be a stressful moment, is a time where this mantra can help remind you that you are in control of a lot of things that are going on. It's through the use of mantras that we can exercise control of our thoughts. And that is the primary purpose of the intervention. The more you have exposure to positive self-affirmations, the more in control of behaviors you will be. I've personally found that mantras have been an extremely powerful force in my recovery. The nice thing about mantras is that you can mix them up. So if you want to rephrase the mantra or use a completely different one that focuses on the same goal, you can. As a matter of fact, I use 3 or 4 mantras throughout my day, which all target the same goal, but say it in a different way. And this stops me from, say, getting burned out on using the same mantra over and over to where you say it so many times that it doesn't have any meaning. Rather, what you can do is just mix up your language and mix up your intention with the mantra, and that allows for irregularity, and so it allows you to really think about the words you're saying on a fairly regular basis. How often do I do my mantras? 3 to 5 times on any given day. I always start my day off with a mantra. I always end my day on a mantra. And in that time, I might do an exercise or I might do a meditation in which I intentionally say the mantra. And I always have my mantras prepared when I'm in recovery groups. Say if I'm going into a therapist or if I'm going into a group, in my case, SLAA. So use your mantras, use your goals to help build your mantras, and know that there's a lot of scientific research that has backed up the fact that mantras do in fact work. Your only task is to go ahead and set those goals, write your mantras down, and start the practice of beginning to recite your mantras on a regular basis. Practice makes perfect. This is Road to Recovery. Hope you found this useful. Please subscribe and have a good day.